Hi, my name is Matthew Doyle. I'm a game artist and game designer, and I've worked in the industry since the year 2000. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about story development. So every game has a story, and that goes all the way back to Pac-Man, Space Invaders, Pong even. Obviously any modern game today, whether they be MMO, RPG, or action game, has a story. Now, while game designers are all about adding the fun in the gameplay, and artists are all about adding the imagery to the game, as a story developer, your job is to create the actual plot that drives the character, that drives the player through the game. Why is the player playing the game? Why is he trying to get through this level? Why does he need to kill this person at the end of this level? Why does he need to rescue that person? All of these questions have to be answered by the story. Now, when you're developing story for a game, obviously you want to start with the basics. You want to start very small. You want to start with the core elements of any story: the plot, the main characters, your protagonists, your antagonists, and so forth. Now, each of your characters has their own story, and you're going to want to develop bios for those characters. Those bios can be as short as one sentence, one really strong sentence that describes the character's motivations, where they came from, and so forth, to as much as a page, a paragraph, multiple pages of that character's story. It's really up to you how deep you want those stories to be. Now, a lot of times your games will have multiple characters that interact, and obviously you're going to want to create those reasons for interaction, how they would interact with each other, and so forth. Along with detailed character bios, you're also going to want to create detailed location descriptions. Of course, you also need to decide if your game's story will be told via cutscenes or simply by the gameplay itself, which can be a challenge, obviously. If your game is simple enough, the story may be as simple as get from point A to point B without dying, and that may be it. But still, you're going to have some sort of unique creature in the game, some sort of character that the player is controlling, and you still may want to create some sort of compelling story behind that creature. Again, even if it's a simple game, why does that creature need to get from point A to point B? Now, obviously, the larger games, such as an RPG or an MMO, is going to have a lot of story. And there's going to be a lot of need for dialogue, for quests material, and so forth. And you may need to have more than one person, in that case, working on the story. A lot of times, story development is the job of game designers, so these people usually fall under the game design category. Just like the game design, story development is often an evolving process throughout the game development cycle. When developing the story for your game, it's really important to work closely with the art department, because a lot of those story elements that you create, character descriptions, location descriptions, and so forth, are going to have an impact on the concept art that they create and ultimately the final art in the game. Story development and game design really go hand in hand. The things you write inside of your story of who a character is and why he's doing what he's doing or how he does things can actually impact the gameplay. And likewise, the gameplay as designed can impact your story.